that I have really fat thumbs.
Fat bum.
Fat thumbs, and Lauren keeps
thumbs.
asking me to like do fiddly things.
Oh.
And I don't have, like, I have the thumb, which is
Oh.
dexterous, like in theory, but it's not like nimble enough.
I have never noticed this before, but I think when
Yeah.
I look at your thumb relative to your other fingers,
It's
is
not good.
hideously swollen.
Do you? Because my feet as well.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I
You
have
got monkey
nice
feet.
feet.
No.
I really don't. I'm not wearing anything now, but like I see some people's feet, and I'm like, mine. Because have
And
you
you
seen my foot?
admire them?
Do you remember what my foot looks like?
Do you have flat toes?
I
As
have
in
one foot.
They're all the same height?
My what's the root finger called on the toe on the foot?
I don't know.
Is there an equivalent?
Middle toe?
Middle toe. It's not the middle though.
What? Wait, the root finger is the middle of the hand. Isn't that not the equivalent? If you give the finger, it's the middle,
No,
right?
no, I mean the second one.
Oh.
But the second,
The ring finger?
this is a good point. The second toe feels like the middle finger.
Just due to length.
Just think about that for a second.
Just due to length.
Let that sink in.
You know, there was a thing, I'll get back to your ugly feet in a second, but there was a thing that I think they measured gay men's finger proportions, and if your ring finger, everyone at home, we're recording, right? Everyone at home, you can look at your hands right now and you might learn something about yourself. If your ring finger is shorter than your pointer finger, you're homosexual. And we found this fact.
Okay, is this real?
This is a real fact. Look it up. We've got a computer up. We found this fact in high school, and everyone was like, "Oh, wow!" and then put their hands out to have a look. And I looked at it, and I was like, "My finger's smaller than my ring finger."
Wait, so it worked for you?
It's accurate to my fingers. Look
Holy shit.
at my ring finger. It's shorter than my pointer finger.
Oh my god! Wait, what if? Wait, your ring finger's shorter than your point. Oh, what?
Yeah,
That is weird. Dude.
yeah. So have a look at your hand at home, everyone. And good news, you might be gay.
All right. Well, maybe this is a test because back to what we were talking about, my ugly feet.
Yeah.
My second toe on my right foot takes like a hard at the end of it takes like a 45-degree turn
It kinks
to the right.
Oh.
Big kink. It is. It's
you
a
got
big.
a foot kink.
It's pretty stuck. Like every person that's ever seen my foot in a romantic sense has commented. Yeah.
Oh god! And do you feel like it's? I mean that
I'm
sounds.
self-conscious.
I was going to say, but I was wondering if you got to a point of self-consciousness where you would say before taking the shoes off,
Yeah. Like my nose.
just so you know,
I have a big nose.
Just so you know.
my shoes off.
things get pretty crazy down here.
Yeah. Well, it's not how big it is; it's how you use it. It applies to noses as well. And as we just established with your father,
Please quickly clarify.
with your
Please quickly clarify.
we'll clarify after the opening credits. I think.
Oh God! Welcome to Deep Thought, everybody. Let's get through this very quickly. This is a podcast about things that matter in a brand new location back home in Adelaide. I just repeated the mistake I made just for clarity. Back home in Adelaide, we're in the same room. We're outside in the same physical dimensions.
Outside room.
Sitting through the air in front of me, my friend Michael. Hello.
Hey,
Girl.
the king.
And my name's Nick. Hey.
Happy holidays.
Merry
In
everything.
the thick of the holidays. How was your Christmas?
No, you need to go. You need to go and clarify that sentence.
Well, it's part of my Christmas story.
Okay.
No, because your dad was just showing me what he got for Christmas, which was smelling. I don't think I could describe it. It's
Okay.
Can you describe it?
I can. It is a teaching kit for wine aficionados to get sample smells of what bad wine smells like. So if you're in a restaurant and they bring out a bottle of wine and you suspect it might be corked or otherwise bad, you can learn the vernacular and the chemicals that have caused this problem in service of you being able to say, hey, this is musty, I think it has X, And so what Dad has is a collection of 12 little vials, and this is a expensive professional kit, presumably for sommeliers, that lets you sniff and go, oh, that's vinegar, oh, that's, mustiness, that's,
Moths.
onions, I think.
It smells like moths.
Yeah.
This is a baffling concept to me. Like, it's essentially, we establish it's for the purpose of sending back wine with confidence, right?
Or enjoying it in any context. But yeah, at home, you don't have any recourse, right? Like if you bought a bottle and you're at home, it's like, well, this is off and I guess I'm shit out of luck. But yeah.
Well, I wouldn't know if wine went bad. I would think I'm the problem. If it smells bad to me or tastes bad, I would think I don't have a sophisticated enough palate.
I didn't brush my teeth this morning.
Yeah, or I brushed my teeth 5 minutes ago, and that's why it tastes like chips. Oh wait, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
It
was funny when Dad was explaining it to you because your response was, "I have never sent wine back in my life, and I cannot ever picture."
And I never will. I never want to. I have never even sent back, bad food. Yeah. I'm just not. I can't.
It is a degree of. I guess as someone who worked in hospitality, we know the other side of it.
You wouldn't have sent back food.
I definitely have. I can't think of an example.
You've said,
but I'm sure that there have been cases.
No, I mean, so we went to on the way driving to Adelaide, we went to Port Fairy and stayed there overnight, and it's one of these really small seaside town, very pretty town, and there's like one cafe open. And we went to get coffee in the morning, and there's like everyone in town is out the front of this cafe.
Yeah.
We're like, all right, well, it's probably going to take a little bit. I get in there, and it's like there's no acknowledgement from the staff whatsoever. Very young staff. She doesn't take my name when I order. And I'm like, where do I stand? Where do I pick it? Nothing like that. So I just wait at the front.
Wait, your concern was where do I stand?
No, because it was packed inside.
Gotcha.
It was packed outside. I didn't know who was lining up, and it was chaos. There was no order. And so I went and ordered. They didn't take my name down. I probably should have given it to them, I guess, but I didn't know what their system was. They were like, I don't know, it's this super hot guy in the white T-shirt. I don't know what their system is, but so we waited for literally half an hour because at half an hour I checked my bank account to check how long
it was paid.
Yeah. And I go in and I say, I'm just, I don't know what the system is. I'm not sure if you called out my name and I missed it or whatever. And they're like, what did you order? Well, no, they said, the same girl said, what name did you put down as? And I was like, you didn't take my name. And then she said, what was the order? And then 5 minutes after that, they brought out the coffee. So I think they forgot. Oh. And I drink black coffee, and it's
like a 30-second job.
It was undrinkable. And I literally took one sip and threw it in the bin right outside. And I want them to know, but like I could have said I should get a refund for how long.
There's been 35 minutes for a black coffee that's undrinkable.
But sometimes when you go to a cafe, and I don't want to talk smack about our hometown here, Nick, but I feel like you can tell by who's making the coffee if it's going to be like just
I think that's universal. I don't think that's even true exclusively of like Adelaide. I think if I was walking into a cool cafe and I saw a person that has like a side part and like shaved hair,
you want
like colors.
You want a trendy in that context.
You want someone who looks like they just got out of the club.
You want a hipster
and a little bit unwashed.
This is the only context where people want hipsters.
That would be the greatest coffee you've ever had.
Yeah.
And if you walk in and you see behind the counter, like a 40-year-old mum, you're like, that's not gonna hit the spot.
I think 40. I mean, I would even push it to 50.
Yeah.
And by the way, it was a 50-year-old mum.
We all love mums.
And I was like, you don't know. This is my test. This is a life hack too. I worked it out. So if you go to a cafe and you want really good coffee, if they have cold brew on the menu, it's 9 times out of 10 it's going to be good coffee.
Yeah.
But if they don't, and they're just used to people just ordering cappuccinos and lattes, you're rolling the dice.
If I'm ordering a coffee, I want the barista to be plausibly pansexual. that's when I really feel confident that they, like they've picked the right grinding setting.
Yeah. And I would encourage everyone to, when they do go to order, just ask your barista about their sexuality before you order.
And that'll really clarify things for you. That's the difference between I'll just have a nice coffee or give me a long black.
Yeah, and go further. Ask them about their religious beliefs, political beliefs. Just to get a real sense of what you're working with.
Yeah.
Before you waste your $6.50.
Yeah. Because it's expensive these days. You got to make some sort of decisions.
You know what's great about coming back to Adelaide is that it kind of you do coming from Melbourne. I don't know what it is in Christchurch, but it does.
You've never been.
The pricing on like a beer, like a pint and a coffee, they are kind of these are the prices in Melbourne 2-3 years ago. So it does feel like we get a pint for $11 here.
Right.
I'm like, whoa, this is great because $15, $14, $16 in Melbourne now for a pint.
I was shocked actually because I went to I flew in via Melbourne to get to Adelaide, so I had an hour to kill in the currently extremely under renovation Melbourne airport.
Yeah, apologies.
And I was there late on a Saturday night, and weirdly, it was the quietest I've ever seen it. There's 2 flights after me, and there were basically 20 people in the entire airport. Never seen it that empty. It was crazy.
Wow.
And I was sat in that sort of cafe bar complex in the guts of it, behind what used to be security, but which is no longer. And I ordered a schnitzel and a beer, and I got up to the counter, and the guy there was pointing to I asked for a beer, and he said, "What size do you want?" And then he said the Melbourne sizes, which is not even the Adelaide sizes, which is not the Christchurch sizes. And I can't even remember. It was like do you want a pot or do you want a
pints?
I don't think he even said pint.
Because schooner is a Sydney thing.
It was a pot. I don't know.
Because so in Adelaide, there's pots and pints and imperial pints, and pints in Victoria is just imperial.
Only imperial, the huge ones. And so I think maybe they're right. Maybe it said pot and pint, and I thought, well, I don't want a pint because I was picturing imperial pint, but then I got a pot, which was basically like a teaspoon, and I was like,
teaspoon.
It was like they served it on a little tray,
little kettle thing, little teapot.
Yeah, I mean, it was gorgeous, like the aesthetic.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Nice.
But it didn't hit the spot. But I was like confronted with that. Oh fuck, I don't know. I would just pick one.
I love an airport beer. Don't you love an airport beer?
It's not very common for me these days.
No,
because a lot of my travel is only domestic, and you're not there long enough beforehand or in any transit to end up hanging around with time to kill.
Yeah.
So
there
is something special about the like time zoneless airport beer though. Like, it doesn't matter what time it is, you can have a beer at the airport.
That's what I mean. Like, I people hate airports, and it's one of my favorite places in the world. During COVID, I don't know if I should say this. Yeah, I'll say it.
I can edit it out.
During COVID, and this could be for a bunch of reasons, but I would drive to the airport because it was within my 15K, and I would just sit in the car and watch the planes and just like think about traveling and wondering, like, I would have my flight radar app on my phone. I would just click on the plane that I saw landing. I'm like, oh, where'd you come from? Qatar. And I just think about Qatar for a bit, and it was a happy place for me.
Yeah,
it's a sanctuary.
There are so many contextual things here that come into sharp relief that I will not bring up on the podcast. But what a sad and special little adventure that must have been.
It was sad and special. And I think that's a good kind of ethos for me.
Yeah,
just sad and special. This is just reminding me of this. When I got into the Uber, so I saw you at Christmas. You came around to my cousin's place for Christmas Day, and
shout out Dan.
And we were, I was pretty. Wait, could you tell I was half in the bag? I was almost fully in the bag. Actually,
it was pretty clear when we were. Yeah, when I walked in. Yeah,
what happened? What gave it away?
You just came in at a level. Yeah,
I mean, I often come in.
You do
quite
like to
hot.
come in hot.
And I can do that sober too.
I was familiar enough to just know to roll with it.
Yep.
And obviously I had Lauren there for support.
Yes.
But you're an enthusiastic presence.
I'd been drinking since 11 that day.
Yeah. You mellowed. You did mellow. We had some nice chats by
Did
the
I?
end. But
yeah, you know what mellowed it? My other cousin, who's a conspiracy nut. Because I got roped into a conversation talking about COVID for 2 hours, and this might surprise everyone, but I was actually arguing for the wearing of masks in certain situations.
Yes, and vaccines.
And that just goes to show how crazy this. Anyway, we don't need to go into it. But anyway, the special thing. This is just a very short story. So, Dan I left Leslie's and John's at my cousin's house at like 2:30, and it was just me, Leslie, and Dan, my cousin and my auntie, left, and we were having a chat, and I was like, I gotta go. So they walked me out the front, and I had an Uber waiting there, and Dan was pretty on his way as well. He just had a gummy, and and he tapped just before I went to go. He tapped on the passenger side window. I was in the back, and he asked the guy to put down the window. And he says, "Hey, listen to me," to the driver. "I need you to take very good care of my boy back here. He's a very special guy. Very special." And the driver's just going, "All right." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck, I'm going to die here." And then the whole time, it's just like a 10-minute drive home. I've never had to have so much concentration as a passenger in a car. Because I don't know what he's thinking. Is he thinking that I'm, mentally unwell or what's going on here?
Yeah.
And I'm just like trying to act normal. But whenever you try
very
to act
self-consciously normal.
you never acted normal when you're trying to act
You've seen
normal.
those stocks lately?
Yeah. No, I was just like trying
The
to
Nikkei's going crazy.
look out the window and just like, I don't know. Sometimes when I'm trying to act...
They're doing a lot around this area, aren't they?
When I'm trying to act normal, I
3 a.m.
don't look at my phone, but I think I should just look at my phone.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing that will like distract me enough to... Anyway.
Yeah, make you seem normal.
I am a special boy.
I think that we should clarify as well. Like we on the podcast here, we have been known to indulge in discussions of UFOs and these kind of things. So an area of interest for you. When we're talking about the conspiratorial nature of your cousins, that is a whole
it's just
other
one cousin,
level.
really.
Cousin plus partner.
Yeah.
That was a whole level of like other intensity.
Well,
second moons being hidden by the government.
Well, apparently you validated that one.
Well, I said that there was an asteroid temporarily in our orbit, but yes.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. This is safe to say, I think, because they won't listen.
It's because we only speak the truth on Deep Thought.
No, but this was a conversation that the eldest of my cousins is a very sweet guy, very straight edged, but very much in his very intense, very very much in his own kind of world, kind of like sucked into that whole conspiracy kind of thing and everything. Doesn't even literally doesn't even believe in COVID. Certainly doesn't believe that the vaccines did anything positive. But I get along very well with Dan and Julia, who you know. So I have a unusually close relationship with some of my cousins. Yeah, and the other ones I don't really at all. Yeah. And he's one of the guys that I'm like, I find we have pleasantries, but like it's very formal usually. Yeah. But I know he's into this stuff, and there's these New Jersey drones that I'm like, I've been reading about this. This is a point of.
I'm sure you've got something to talk about. Yeah.
So I brought it up with him the night before, and then I felt, after I had a few pops, his partner's getting involved, and I'm starting to realize that like they are really into this more than I thought. And then I'm just in an attempt to, I don't know, I was probably trying to like rile them up a little bit, and I'm like throwing in JFK, and I'm throwing in everything. And they're just like, they've got, those people, they're like, they have strong opinions about every conspiracy theory. Yeah. And then I realized I bit off way more than I can chew, and I'm getting a bit bored and frustrated, quite frankly. Yeah. And then I'm trying to push back. And so that conversation that you were sitting next to, but not a part of on Christmas Day, that was a continuation of that. And so they thought, because of my how enthusiastic I was with them the night before, that they had like a safe space or whatever.
You were a potential convert.
But then I found myself really pushing back because because a couple of Christmases ago, and then this was what it was about. A couple of Christmases ago, when COVID was at its peak, we had family Christmas at my parents' house, and my mum, who's immunocompromised, and Leslie has health issues as well. They asked him. They knew he wasn't vaxxed, and he made the choice not to be vaccinated. And my mum said to him, "If you are coming on Christmas Day, we ask that you just wear a mask."
Yeah, perfectly reasonable.
And he literally said, and this is what he said to me on Christmas Day. He was like, he was clearly not over it. He was so traumatized by it. He was like, I was asked to wear a scarlet letter, or he called it a dunce cap or something. He's like, this is just all just fear mongering about. I was like, well, it is. I do like understand that it's my mum asking you to wear a mask is a fear. Comes out of fear, but it's out of fear of death because we didn't necessarily know, and also you can die if you're immunocompromised and you get it, and you just don't know, so you just don't want to play Russian roulette with this kind of stuff. Yeah, and he just wouldn't accept that, and it's like, this is I feel like a leper, it's like, but you made the choice, but like it's I don't. You probably have stronger feelings about that than I do, but like I'm like, okay, if you don't want to take the vaccine, fine, but you can't. I just don't understand like complaining or just saying that everyone's going along with the status quo and
you can't expect there to be no consequences for your choices, right?
Yeah, but I guess it's this thing of like people. I think people become martyred. I think I might have said this to you, but I think people get martyred. Like people who object to let's say COVID vaccines, and then people ask them to restrict their movements or put a mask over their face in certain contexts. They do feel like almost stronger. I think it's like this martyrdom aspect to it, where it's just like, I'm being persecuted against, and I wouldn't be persecuted against if I wasn't right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's definitely evident in the behavior of a lot of those people that were resistant to that. As to where that comes from, I don't know. Is it just we're all looking for some way to feel superior to everyone, And like, if you're confident in your own rightness, then this gives you the perfect opportunity to like grandstand about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess so. It's become so weirdly political. I remember when before COVID, you talk about like Bondi mums who don't get their kids vaccinated.
Yeah, for like whooping cough and stuff.
It was just they were just completely seen as loonies, right? And I guess there is still an element now to it, but it just feels like after COVID, a lot more people have strong opinions about it. And I don't actually have, like, if you really think that, I can see how, it would play out in your head where you're like, suddenly Big Pharma are the heroes of the day, and it seems like it would. It's like feels a bit icky to me. I can see that, but it's this thing of like when people get an idea in their head that COVID's this big conspiracy thing and vaccines don't necessarily work and stuff. When you're going to do your quote unquote do your own research, which is now a big thing, do your own research. Do your own research now just means go on the internet and find
someone else you agree with.
Yeah, exactly. And so there is no doing your own research because there's no third party moderating what you're looking up, because you just find stuff that you already agree with and then get more entrenched in your pre-existing views.
Did you see that? Did we talk about this last episode? I don't remember. The guy who went to Antarctica.
Oh, no, we didn't. I saw that, yeah.
So there's a flat earther who, I think some millionaire or businessman or science guy or something, paid for a trip to Antarctica, because the logic was... actually, don't ask me to explain.
About the sun?
Yeah. The logic was that even at the theoretical poles, if you go to Antarctica, you would still see the sunset, and thus it's a flat earth or something like that. So they flew this guy out, this flat earther, and they brought him to the center of Antarctica.
Who's they?
I don't know. This person, like, I can't remember if it was a scientist or a millionaire or a YouTuber or whatever. Took the guy, brought him all the way to the other end of the world, and then they stood there and they looked at the sun, and it stayed in the stayed in the sky 24 hours a day. Didn't set. They're on the pole, 24-hour daytime. Yeah. And to the guy's credit, he was like, "Yeah, I guess yep, no, it did stay in the sky." So, and you can watch his like admission effectively, and I say, massive props.
Absolutely. I mean, it becomes a religion at some point. It's basically just converted. But I actually follow Flat Earth. Flat Earthers on Facebook.
Yeah.
Because it's hilarious. And they made a post about that guy going, "This guy's a hack. This guy's anyone. He's been co-opted. Yeah. Anyone can be a sell." They called him a sellout. I love it.
You know, your cousins actually gave very, and there's no grounds for this, but they could very plausibly be like Mormon. They have a sort of Mormon-y energy.
Oh my god!
And I don't know what that quality is.
No, but they are very religious.
Well, there you go.
They are very religious.
That's a weird overlap, isn't it? Well, maybe it isn't. Super religious and super conspiratorial.
It's not. It's cult thinking, though.
I guess so.
It's the same, and that particular cousin is very, very religious. Like, but that's the thing. Like, I love conspiracy. I love thinking about them. I love reading about them. But the difference is that I don't buy into. I think I have like quite a healthy skepticism about everything, and even if I do, even if like I want to believe that these lights over New Jersey are aliens, but I know that they're very likely not.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
You indulge it because it's enjoyable.
Yeah, it's like kind of like guilty pleasure or something.
Yeah, it's like watching your soap operas. You know, like it just tickles a little bit of that sort of fantasy brain.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like what ifs, but like it's I underneath it. I do think I'm like nah. But then this is what I said to them. I was like, isn't it interesting? Isn't it weird though that people like you guys who buy into conspiracy theories aren't just into some of them and then not into others. It's like all of them. It's always every single one.
Yeah.
That's not even statistically
factual. Pull the thread of there is a nebulous they out
deep
there
state
controlling every piece of information and fact about the world, then you have to start questioning all of it, and so that's why all of it becomes plausible.
That's so weird that you said it, because she kept, my cousin's partner, she kept referring to they, and over the 2 nights, like over they with the New Jersey drones, they with 9/11, they with JFK, and I was like, who is they? And then she would just go, I don't know, who are they? And I'm like, fuck off. Like, what is
accuse someone,
like,
just
you can't
accuse
be
someone.
like this boogeyman out there.
Yeah, Jason Mantzoukas. I'm pretty sure it's him.
Okay.
He's flying all the drones.
Yeah.
At least give me something to work off.
That would be cool.
Because then we could go find out.
Yeah. Mantzoukas drones.
Here's my conspiracy. I'm pretty sure Jason Mantzoukas is going to be on the next season of Taskmaster.
Wow.
You heard it here first.
Whoa.
He's spent a lot of time in the UK, and he's a profound fan of the show. I'm just saying.
That's
you
pretty...
heard it here first.
All right.
In terms of Mormons, as a random tangent, and this is a dumb thing. I'm admitting to a thing that's dumb. I kind of forgot that Mormons are Christians. And because I sort of think of them as in their own flavor.
But they are.
I know that they are, but like I was thinking, I wonder if they do Christmas, and then someone clarified, well, of course they do. They're Christians, and I was like, oh, that's right, they are their own sect of it, but there is still a lot of Church of Latter-day Saints. Like there's Jesus all through it. Yeah,
they massively piggybacked off pre-existing Christianity in a pretty weird way. Like I mean, I don't know. My dad, who's a religious guy, he openly makes fun of things like Scientology and even Mormonism to a degree. Like Joseph Smith finding it. What he found a book in his backyard or something. That's the origin story of Mormonism, and he's like, oh, it's ridiculous. I'm like, it's the same thing that you
it's the same level of plausible as all the others.
And his rebuttal to that would be like, well, those religions haven't survived 2,000 years. And I was like, well, if you're doing time, then I guess Hinduism's correct. If it's like whoever's the longest one and has a lot of people following, then it's Hinduism. Whoopsie. Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, yeah, it was interesting chats. Like I enjoyed the discussion.
Yeah, I didn't. Not
well. You were dead in it. You were properly.
I just feel like it just zapped me really, and I felt like I was neglecting you.
Yeah, we didn't even
neglecting.
neglecting. Yeah, that's a tough one. It is always nice to get to go and hang out with your family because it does scratch the itch for me of like big family Christmas, which was a thing growing up for me, but over the years as like family has drifted apart, or other sides have started to have kids and they're having it on different days, or like we're not getting invited to that stuff, and it just like my lunch on the Christmas day was like 5 people, and one of them was my neighbor.
That sounds nice to me now, actually, though.
But then I got the opposite, which was I got to go round to a bunch of drunk Ukrainians,
rowdy,
and stay up till 2 a.m. or whatever it was with music blaring. And
well, music blaring, we're playing like Sufjan Stevens B-sides.
blaring
though.
Actually, you wouldn't let me play the Sufjan B-sides, but yeah.
No, I was actually going to ask you to send me that 4th of July thing because I forgot what specific. It was a specific performance.
Yeah,
wasn't
the
it?
live album of Karen Lowell.
Yeah, I need to get to that. But yeah.
But no, I always feel very loved and welcome. I walked in the door and everyone squeezed my butt and pinched me and rubbed my muscles, and that's what I wanted.
That was actually a big
flattering.
talking point.
Yeah.
It's how fit you were.
Thank you.
And annoyingly, Lauren as well, she's like, he looks great, doesn't he? I was like, doesn't look that good. But you do look different than on the little screen.
Oh yes, we're recording. We're video.
No, but like you.
You mean on the?
Because to me, you're this like talking head blob in a square.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah. Well, we don't ever get to catch up as often these days, so it's nice. You get that juxtaposition after a couple of years. I think it's different when you're like in the same room as someone every week or whatever. You don't get to see the changes.
Yeah. No. It's yeah. I mean, I was talking about this with Dan as well. That like. Coming back to Adelaide, and you would have the same thing. Like you can notice both our parents are at the age now. You can start to notice, you're walking a bit different, or you look a bit different now because we have that perspective.
Yeah.
And I guess I have that with you too, where I'm like, Well, I'm not going to give you another compliment here.
Well, please don't. Yeah, no, it'd be disgusting.
You can fill in the blank.
Just write it down on a piece of paper and slide it across the table. Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I am lucky enough that, my parents just came over to New Zealand a month ago. So on that perspective, it's not been so long. But there's definitely, as you say, like the contrast of the real life versus the digital interactions is real. But the great thing is that these days, in what am I, mid-30s, the people that I come home to see are people that I want to see. And it always feels easy to go back and to hang out, and I think the people that it feels like an effort for are people that you probably don't have the same connection with,
Yeah.
And so I'm just grateful that when I do get back, I have people that I want to see, and it feels like the old days, nothing changes from the distance.
No, those are your true friends, I guess. I mean, maybe it's a bit different. I just feel like because I'm only ever in Adelaide over the Christmas break for like 4 or 5 days, because then it starts to get a little dicey at home. Tensions run high. Roles are you go back into your roles. Yeah. Really, we talked about that. But I always feel so like I feel like I never have enough time, and I could stay on extra, but like I like to see guys like Eddie and Dave and stuff like that. But it's just I don't know. I just get tired. I just get sick of it.
Yeah,
quickly.
Well, I mean. Yeah, it is difficult, and I think the older the friendship, the easier it is, or the more common it is to be put back in whatever box you were in, right? Like I think with my school friends, at least for a while, I think it's a bit different now because we're all just old and tired.
Didn't realize you had school friends.
Yeah, I'm going to go see them all tomorrow, like go around for a barbecue and things. But with those dynamics, like we're talking 30 years for some of those friendships, it's very hard really to fight those old dynamics. Not they're unpleasant, but you end up in similar ruts. And I think the newer you are, or the later in life you make those friendships, the more flexibility you have in how you interact when you do meet up again.
Yeah, that's
and I think family is the top of that pyramid, right? Yeah. Family is so old, like from birth, like there is a dynamic, and it is very hard to like change that.
Yeah. Well, I got home from Melbourne, within 5 minutes, Laura and I had like a huge fight within 5 minutes of going home. And it's because, bring the dog over. My parents, as I was saying to you guys before, they've always been outside dog people, but
Pepsi's
they want us to come home. But I mean, I think they've mellowed out as well. And I'm worried about her. Like, my parents have got like nice couches and stuff, and they just asked that, and fairly just like, oh, can you just make sure she, try and get her to not jump off on the couches and stuff. So, when in order to get Pepsi to stop doing something, we've been saying right, like she responds to that, and she jumped up on the couch when I was at home, and when I first got there, my dad I go and she jumped off, but then she went back up again. I went had to just she's
learning it.
She's a puppy, and she's in a new environment, and she's just learning. And also in our house, we allow her, to sit up on the couch with us, so she's learning a new thing, really.
Yeah, she's learning a complex distinction. Yeah.
And my dad said, you got to be firm with dogs. You got to say no in a deep voice. And I'm like, well, it's not like the word. The word is just a sound to her.
Yeah.
And we know that she responds to it.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, she's still doing it. And I'm like, well, hold on. Like, she's a new puppy in a new house with a new couch. Explained all the things. And he was like, well, if you want me to, sarcastically, if you want me to teach you how to treat. And I was like, fucking that sucks.
Oh, God.
And then at this point, Laura didn't hear this. Laura comes back home from a walk or something. And Dad and I still kind of having this weird kind of dialogue and stuff. And Laura's Pepsi's very excited to see Laura because she's been with Laura before. Yeah. Laura sits down on the couch, and Pepsi's like, I'm so excited to see you. And she's jumping up on Laura and stuff. Yeah. So now I'm like having this weird thing of like trying to get off the couch, going Pepsi, but she's overcome with excitement.
She's so excited. Yeah.
And then Dad's going, see, it's kind of validating Dad's point.
Yeah.
And then Laura's kind of picking up a bit of this, and she's like, no, and she's like backing up Dad and saying no, and that annoyed me. And then I walked off into another room, and as I walked off into the other room, I heard Laura say in earshot, intentionally, train your dog.
Oh.
And I came back and I said, Laura, that I could hear that. And she said, I wanted you to hear that.
Oh.
And I went, and this is my I shouldn't have done this, but I went from 0 to 100. So if it hits a nerve with me, I can just fire off, and usually it's only family that can do that. And I unleashed. I was like, "That's fuck!" Like, I just was swearing.
Yeah.
My mum started crying because I was so that was very much on me, but it was like it just hit such a nerve. I was like, this is so.
Well, you'd been primed, right?
I had, but like to me, it was just like so. It was so grossly unfair to say that, and nothing was like getting through. Like I couldn't say, I wasn't able, because no one was listening, in my opinion, that like she's just a puppy. She's learning. It's just going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
It's not because I'm saying the wrong English word.
Yeah.
And it was just like, and then after, we kind of had it out, but and kissed and made up very quickly. But it's just like, really.
Yeah, that's
really
frustrating.
Gets me.
But nothing could get under your skin like family could get under skin.
No. But like the blood boil, it's ready to go. It's on the surface. Yeah.
It is interesting from, like, we did puppy school with Goose. I guess we're in Dog Daddies now. This is our official Dog Daddy segment. We did puppy school with Goose, and the training stuff these days, I think, is genuinely different to how it was 20 years ago or 40 years ago, And I think our parents' generation were very much raising dogs in you have to be the alpha, you have to show dominance, physical retaliation for bad behavior, all that kind of thing was the norm. And these days it's all positive affirmation. We understand behaviorally, that dogs are pack animals, but the alpha thing is a myth, and so it's all about lots of treats and lots of rewards for doing the right thing, not lots of negatives and lots of threats for doing the wrong thing, right? But that's a 180 switch from what it used to be. And I think if you're not walked through that kind of, like, I was reading books about the training ideologies of it and everything, and if you're not explain that kind of thing, then it just seems like you're indulging your dog, right?
That's it. It's like you're pampering. And I am very wary of, I don't want to be, if we're out at a cafe and Pepsi starts barking, I will pick her up and take her away because I don't want to ruin anyone else's experience.
Yeah.
So I really don't want to be the bad dog parents.
Yeah.
But there's levels to it. And
they're animals. Occasionally they're just going to do the wrong thing, or, they're going to get distracted,
right,
or they're in a new environment.
Right.
But they're babies. They're baby dogs. They don't understand words, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just tone and repetition.
Exactly.
And you end up gradually, acclimatizing a dog to an environment and to a household and to your expectations. And then you have an adult that does what you want, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But like if a 5-year-old human, or even like a 3-year-old, say, like a toddler, kept, picking up their cup and tipping the milk outside, are you going to scream at it and like slap it out of its hand and say you can't keep doing that? Or do you understand that they're just developing humans, like, yeah.
It's that's the thing. I think, I think just going back to that other example with the family stuff, it's not actually about the dog. It's about something else, and I'm not necessarily sure what that is, but it's like, what it feels like, and I'm not saying this is what it is in that particular situation, but what it feels like is you think that I'm not doing enough. You think that I'm lazy. It's like, but you're putting you're projecting all of this insecure family stuff onto this situation, which is probably also why I blew off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do think, from what you described, that you were primed, right? Like, it wasn't that Laura necessarily was the thing that was the worst thing. It was you just had a long conversation with your dad about the exact same issue.
You think I'm a baby. You think I'm, late. I don't know.
Now, speaking of dog behaviors, you've teed me up here perfectly. I got a story to tell you.
Okay.
So before we, when I was still in Christchurch, caught up with a friend, went to a cafe, brought Goose along. She likes dogs, wanted to see Goose. Has met before, but we just found a dog-friendly cafe. And this was a nice, it's suburban area. It's got an outdoor, like a few trestles and like undercover tree tables and that sort of stuff. Really nice vibes. And then like an indoor house area where they do all the food prep and that sort of stuff, and have other tables. So we'd booked an outside table, and I'd brought the dog along, and it's just like gravel and pebbles and stuff around.
No grass.
And I had made a tactical error, perhaps. So what we did was we ate first and we're then going to walk Goose, and that was a tactical error because I think we should have walked her first to get the energy out, and then she would sit more comfortably when we were having a meal. So that being said, she's pretty well behaved. She's a good-natured puppy. She's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Generally obedient, though we're starting to get a little bit into teenage years where she's a little resistant.
Defiant.
But generally pretty good.
Yeah.
So she was sat there, I was patting her. I was eating my food with, one hand and had the leash in the other and that kind of thing. She's, there's little bits of like greenery and stuff around us. There's pots of plants and that sort of thing. She chews on grass for a little bit, and I'm not too concerned. There's like a few little crab apples and stuff around, and I'm watching and making sure she doesn't eat anything random, but it's all right. And then she chucks up. She does a little vom, and I actually don't see it. I just notice that there's a little thing of vom there. It's sort of foamy, and I'm like, God damn it! But we're outside, not the end of the world.
The goddamn it was what?
Oh, just like, that's unfortunate. Like, that's a mess. So, I have to clean it up.
The mess.
I wasn't too concerned, for her health or whatever. I didn't think that she looked behaviorally very unwell. She wasn't making noises. She was happy and engaged. Otherwise, I thought, okay, just puppy, like too excited or run around, or it was a hot day or something. Maybe she just did a vom, and then, we'll finish our breakfast and we'll get going. So moved her away from the vom, and then I'm getting to close to the end of the food, and then we'll get out of there. She then voms a second time, and then a third time. I'm like,
bulimia.
Okay, we've got our eating disorder on our hands. No, I was like, okay, so clearly, I don't know.
What she's eaten.
Not what she's eaten. And then I remembered that the waiter had come over and said, "Oh, does your dog like treats?"
Mm.
And had given a dog biscuit to
Cadbury Roses.
Yeah. Had given a dog treat to her when we sat down. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I've had that.
Oh, dog treat from the cafe.
Yeah.
Did not sit with our delicate little baby.
Right.
And she...
Was it actually a dog treat?
Well, I didn't see what it was.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like in the hand and then into the dog.
Yeah. It's like, here's someone's leftover sandwich.
Yeah. I mean, it looked like a little baked thingy, but I don't know. So I was like, oh, fuck. And at that point, it's like, well, we're done with the food. I'm going to take her away, you know? So, but I'm, you know, I think a responsible dog owner. I didn't have like... what I wanted basically was a hose so that I could just wash this out. You know, we're outside, it's on pebbles. I don't want people stepping in it, but also it's not like an imminent risk for anyone, right? It's not slippery or anything. Sure. So I was hoping to get like some water or a hose just to flush it through. And so this was a busy morning, like early December. And there was people rushing around, and we'd tried a few times. Like we'd booked a table outside, and there was like reservations and other tables, but no one was there yet. And we were in direct sun, and I was like asking the staff, "Was there any chance we could just move over to the other one, into some shade and everything?" And they're like, "Oh no, it's just stress, busy day, that kind of thing." So we see this vom situation happening. Like, okay, well, we got to get out of here, and I'll go see what's up with her. So I stand up to go, and the waitress is sort of coming past, and she's clearing another table over to the side of us. And I stand up and say, "Oh, excuse me,
bitch."
Excuse me. And she turns and she says, "I'm sorry, but I'm just too busy."
What the fuck?
And I was like,
"Oh, you can't do that."
Sorry, I'm sorry. No, I just don't have time. And she got up and she carried the plates and she went inside to the building. And I was like, well,
yep, guess who's about to step in vomit.
This. You're going to regret this. And I looked around and I was like, well, I can't get the hose. There's no napkins available. I can't do anything.
You could have pissed on it.
I could have pissed on it. Fuck. Why do you always think of the good ideas after the fact?
That's my go-to for anything. Whenever there's an issue, piss on it.
Vomit on the ground.
Scratch it.
Yeah. And I was like, well, look, I sincerely tried. I sincerely tried to make this good for you, but you were not receptive.
How old was this waitress?
Oh, I don't know. 40?
40?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, I don't know. So she disappeared inside, and so we went in and paid and headed off, and I could feel a little bit like the eyes of the other tables, and I'm like, what do you want me to do?
I know.
I had guilt about it, but I sincerely tried, and I just don't know what the best. I had a dog that was being sick. Don't want to keep it there any longer than necessary.
You did the right thing, and you know what? The right people would have seen it. The right people would have been observant enough to see it, I think.
True. The next door neighbors would have seen the interaction with me and the waiter.
Like he went up. He tried.
Can you give me this? Do you think after the first bomb I should have got up and gone?
No.
Do you think I was all right to hang after that first one?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've purposely 5-6 times in and outing. And
gosh,
we'll hang in there. I mean, voms aren't that bad. We went, in Port Fairy again. We went to a bar there, and one of the table next to us, a couple of 70-year-old people, they came up after, just as they were leaving. They were like, "By the way, your I didn't say your Pepsi. They said your dog has just been eating this plant underneath the whole time," and we're like, "Okay." And then we looked at it and we're like, "Shit, that looks like a plant that has. It looked like an aloe vera plant."
Oh yeah,
but nothing. I was like, "Why didn't you say anything at the time?"
Oh,
Yeah.
What are they hoping to achieve by that? Like,
I think they wanted to chat.
Okay,
just to have something to say.
They just wanted a Coke, no ice.
Yeah. Call back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very sensitive about the dog being not seen as like a dog, like a good dog.
Yeah,
owner.
you don't want to be seen irresponsible.
I mean, it's going to be even worse when you get like a baby. You know,
Yeah.
you want to. Like going on a plane with a baby,
Yeah.
you know, what do we do when it cries? I hate, you know. I mean, I don't mind when a baby cries on a plane now. I mean, everyone's got noise cancelling headphones, so I
Yeah.
guess it's like not too bad.
Yeah.
But like even like, have you ever been out and I don't know, the dog does like a really like runny kind of shit,
Yeah.
and you go to
You'll
scoop
try
it
and
up,
scrape it, yeah.
and you're like, I haven't really done anything here,
Yeah.
but
But the
I just hope
gesture was
someone
made.
saw that I
Yeah.
attempted.
Yeah.
But really, what I've done is spread it out across the pavement.
And then now there's a larger
I've
impact.
just got
yeah.
like a shit
Shit
on brick toast kind of thing going on over here. Just Nutella
Yeah, Vegemite.
on toast.
Yeah. I do think that like I do judge other people's dogs now. I do judge them. I judge them. I mean, to be fair, I judged other people's dogs even before I had a dog. But I do judge behaviorally, and I judge breed now.
You might
in
be a
really
judgmental
racist
guy.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so do I. But it's not. It's just about like just make enough effort to minimize the amount of impact that you're having on someone else. That's
Yeah.
all. I don't
Just
need you to
it's
do
just-
it fully.
Yeah, consideration for others, right? That's
Yeah.
all we're judging.
Yeah.
But like, the people who are like, oh, she just likes to do that sometimes. Like,
No.
we don't have any control over
No,
this.
see, but this is what I felt
Yeah.
at my house.
Yeah.
That it was that kind of
That kind of
energy. It's
judgment.
like
Yeah.
they think that I'm like, oh no,
person
she's
is-
fine, but I wasn't doing that.
Yeah, we have a training regime, and this is how it works. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about a regime.
No, but you know, like we have a word. And
we have a sound.
yeah, we have a treatment plan. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway,
how was your holidays?
well, it's still going. I still got another week.
Yeah.
You're heading back tonight. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. I
Yeah.
think so. Well, we don't actually. Yeah, probably tomorrow.
Loosey goosey.
Did you get anything cool for Chris?
Yeah, I got some. You're gonna roll your eyes.
Well, I thought I just then it sounded like you. Did you get anything from a guy called Chris?
Yeah. So did Chris get you anything? I got some gym clothes from my parents, which was nice. I had requested no books because I have a big pile of books, and they very kindly.
It's tough when you got to
Facilitated.
fly back though. as
That's the
well.
thing, because I've got to bring the stuff that I need to bring, right, in terms of like clothes and supplies,
Mugs.
and also mugs, and also presents for people here. But then I also have to like mentally accommodate, or what if they get me, 2 kilos worth of shit, and then I have to
prawns.
not pack. I have to decide how much of my own stuff to pack on the presumption that there'll be stuff I need to take away with me. And that was the thing with books. Like, not only do I have a lot of them still to read on my bedside table, but they're so fucking heavy and
Yeah.
big. That's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I got that. I got some money towards my new laptop. So stay tuned, Deep Fort listeners, for a very exciting, you will not be able to notice technical upgrade. But on my end, life is good.
To Riverside.
Yes, back to Riverside. We can.
We can. And you're happy with that?
Yeah.
Great.
Because it'll work.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. New lappy. That's got to feel
Lappy
really
feels
good. Let me
very
know if
nice.
you need a hand setting it up.
Yeah, you're a tech guy, right? I mean, we have to shout out your setup right now, which we're using, which is
We'll see.
Well, okay, so
Well, I just, there's probably going to be something that will annoy you.
God, okay, well, we'll find out. I am enjoying our outside vibes, and I'm enjoying our, comedian in a small studio holding our own mic vibes.
Yeah. You've gone with the real fist. I'm going with the light, delicate.
Yeah,
touch,
yours
haven't
looks
I?
classy, but I'm like,
Well, I've done comedy before. You see,
yeah, the Akaba.
the Akaba just down the
you
road.
still have a standing 5 minutes, right? Like you can just
I can just
walk
pop
in.
it. I just pop in sometimes. Popped it after Christmas.
It does, like, I feel like maybe I'll change hands for a bit because I was just,
Yeah.
oh, you can hear my knuckles cracking. How long have we been going?
Don't know, man.
Do you not have a clock there that you can look
I
at?
think we started at pretty much 3 on
Do
the
you not have a
dot.
clock? Does it not tell you how long it's been?
I could go into.
I don't fuck around with things if it's a headache. Well, if you've enjoyed this kind of episode, then that's lovely because we've mixed it up a little bit, and I'm glad that despite those changes, you have managed to find something exciting. Thank you so much as well to everyone who reached out and commented about our Christmas songs last episode. It's very nice to have those nice words come through. It's very sweet. Everyone seemed to be enjoying both of our efforts this year.
Yes, a lot of nice comments.
Yes, and if you haven't yet listened to them, or you're wanting to listen to them again, they're now up on Spotify, and theoretically the lyrics...
They're not, though. I checked yesterday.
Well, keep an eye out on Spotify. Those lyrics should be appearing on Spotify at some point, so you can work out what the fuck we're singing.
I really should... I'll follow up with that, because that took me ages to do.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully by the time this airs, it will be there. You can also find our previous album, Very Deep Fort Christmas, Volume 1, for all the previous 5 years' songs. You can find other episodes of this podcast back in the archive in the deepfort.podbean.com canon.
How about that?
Oh, very good. You can reach out to us via deepfort@gmail.com. You can find us on socials, on Instagram. You can look for clips like this one and others on our socials there at Deep Fort.
If my phone
and you can just generally celebrate the time you have with the people around you. It's Christmas.
Or not. Or fight. Or fight to the death.
Fight. Hey, Michael, I got a wee little ending game here, which I am stealing from something I saw online. Ironically, this is probably not a great thing to do on a podcast, but we're going to do it anyway.
Okay.
This is a drawing game.
Yeah. It's funny because we're holding our microphones.
We're holding
as
our
well,
microphones.
So that should
going to be
extra
single-handed.
fun.
It's going to be incredibly difficult, and I'm very unprepared. But I just thought this sounded like a sort of New Year's Eve. I've had this in my notes here for a while, and I thought
IRL
so is the way to do it.
All right.
So this is basically just a game where we do our best to draw from memory famous corporate logos.
Okay.
We're just gonna see how close we can get to the real thing. So we're just gonna pick a company, pick a brand, pick a logo. Okay. Just gonna draw it, and we just see how close we get.
Okay. That sounds fun.
Yeah. So this one, I'll give you the iPad because you're in my house and I'm a lovely host.
And my landscape or porch.
You can do whatever you want, and I'm gonna bring it up on my phone here. And
I draw it with my finger.
Yeah, draw with your finger. What is, do you want a stylus? Do you? You want the Apple Pencil?
Well, never mind.
Okay, you're not very good with your finger. Says Lauren. So
my nose. I could do it with my nose.
It is a finer point, perhaps.
Okay.
Stumpy thumbs over here.
A biro, if you will.
You could use your ugly toe.
Okay. Wow.
We found lots of ways to insult you there. So, look, I think we should maybe do 3. A little bit of back and forth, and
sure.
And
3 each.
I think we both draw the thing at the same time, and we compare which of ours is closer.
Okay.
So we just do 3 rounds, and if you, I'll do it on my phone, and you can do it on the iPad.
That's nice. All right, thanks.
And I think you can volunteer a brand or a logo first, and then I'll pick one, and you can pick one.
Okay. First one is BP.
BP.
Petroleum. Petroleum.
Yeah, it's a silly name when you hear the full one, but that's why they
abbreviated it. Yeah.
Oh gosh, this is going to be tough for me.
I have no idea.
We don't have BPs in New Zealand, so I have not seen one.
Should I pick a more universal one?
Maybe pick something just a little bit more national.
All right.
International, globes.
All right. How about
beep. Petroleum. I'm sorry. We'll get to you next round.
All right. What about what about Adidas?
That's so weird. I was just thinking Adidas.
All day I dream about scripture.
Okay, I don't know. Okay, Adidas. Okay, here we go. So this is a one-handed mic drawing exercise. I'm going to not look at your screen. Okay.
I have a pretty good handle on this one.
Oh, by the way, you can change your pens and stuff at the bottom if you want like a thicker. If you want to, we always want a thicker over here. Okay. Very difficult.
Basically done.
You're basically done. Oh.
What?
I think we're writing on the same page, and it actually synced on top of each other.
Did they?
Yeah, so I have yours now. So I'm gonna I'm gonna quit that and open to a new page. That's funny. I'm pretty confident, actually. I have to say, I'm really pleased with how this turned out.
You done?
I'm done. You're right. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I think. I might be thinking of a sneaker.
That's possible. We'll put this up on our Instas as a side by side. You can judge which one we got closer here. Let's bring up the Adidas logo.
Can you screenshot? Yeah.
Well, we have it in this app, so I can just grab an export from it. Oh. Adidas logo. Oh, I'm feeling pretty confident here. I reckon I'm in the vicinity.
Did you just write the letters? And you got. Okay. I went back. I didn't know it was backwards slash.
Backslash.
Like a mountain. And I went five strokes.
Yeah.
How many did you get?
There is also this one, which is sort of like a leaves on top thing.
Yeah.
But
I wasn't going for that one.
I went for the 3, so I did get the 3.
Bit of combination, maybe.
Yeah.
If I'm being generous to myself.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna throw a logo out here. I'm gonna claim that win.
You won.
I think I'm going to claim that win. I think for round 2, Toyota.
Okay.
Toyota.
Okay.
How do we feel about this? Do you think that's in your vicinity?
I feel like it's just the words, though.
Well, I'm picturing like the logo, the actual logo on a car. The car Toyota logo.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
This one I may have stitched myself up with because I said the brand without really thinking if I knew it. Ooh, I'm going very lots of circles in this one for some reason. Oh gosh, this is definitely not it.
Okay, I think I've got it.
Oh no. Oh, this is embarrassing. Okay, well, I'm just gonna leave that there.
All right, I'm done. I've nailed it.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Pretty close.
Pretty good.
Pretty close.
Oh yeah, yours was.
Mine's a T. Mine's a little bit more T.
Should have been a T.
But I think
that's a win for both of everyone, really. Toyota.
I think Toyota
except for
should get in
Toyota.
touch with us.
Yeah.
Toyota logo. Okay, let's see how we are compared to the. Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
We're on the right
I think
track.
we had the same vibe.
Same vibe.
I didn't write the name, but I think we were just looking for the logo, so that's okay. I think that's not too bad from us.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
From Mem.
Yeah. Alrighty, give me another one.
So, all right. About NASA.
NASA's a good call. Okay, NASA. Okay.
No, because they. Okay.
This is we've stepped up a level now. Now we're in art territory. Okay, I'm going to start using my my fill-in. Oh, I'm actually look, if this isn't the logo, I'm happy to volunteer it because I feel like it's got a vibe which I'm into.
This is not the NASA logo that I'm looking at. I'm just.
What do you think you've drawn?
I've drawn something.
I'm very confident. Are you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Oh!
How did you do that?
I was using the tools. Okay, you went for the lettering.
No, because they've got specific lettering that flows.
They do have a famous logo.
Also, I did a little penis there.
Oh, cute.
Penis NASA.
Mine, I've gone for the patch.
How
I
did
think
you do that?
The
That's
patch,
genuinely good.
But am I imagining that? What's the NASA logo?
To me, it was just the lettering.
Yeah, I'm not right, but there is a vibe there. But your letters.
No, so this is the red one that I was thinking of.
Yeah. But the letters I think they call it the worm, don't they? The NASA worm.
Down, yeah.
See, look at that. The connectiveness of that A. You put a penis in, but otherwise the vibe is pretty close.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we're both pretty good at
we
this,
nailed
actually.
it. Oh fuck! I just got out of it. Now I can do it again, but from that memory.
that's
no, because I'm just saying that.
Double checked. You can do a better one. That's a shame that I can't now share that image with everyone on Instagram.
So it's like that.
It's not that not that far away.
It's just the A
I
and
just
the
wish
S.
you'd
that
left.
are
I wish you'd left the penis in there.
Sorry.
Oh well. Everyone, you can imagine your own penises, as many do.
That was fun.